Steve Balestrieri April 7, 2019 at 5 a.m. Eastern Time. Good morning, here is your Sunday Patriots news 0407 and AFC East Notes. We have begun our draft profiles on players that we feel would fit the team. Our first on tight ends can be seen here, and our follow-up post on possible wide receiver fits can be seen here. Our draft profiles on defensive tackles is here, in case you missed it. Our second mock draft 2.0 attempt at building the 2019 Patriots roster is in the books. You can recap it here. I believe we all expect the Patriots to be very active in this one, possibly packing some picks for a trade or perhaps moving around the board as they are very used to doing. And be sure to check out for pre-draft podcasts with Derek Ivans and I going over some of the possible fits for the Patriots in the upcoming draft. Quick hitters: Michael Bennett had the felony charges against him dropped in Texas. After the Super Bowl in Houston, he was trying to get on the field to congratulate his brother Martellus when he supposedly shoved a 66-year-old paraplegic security staffer, who suffered a sprained arm. The DA dropped the charges in the interest of justice, as they didn't feel there was sufficient evidence to earn a conviction. Tom Brady was in People magazine after he signed what he dubbed the coolest helmet I've ever signed. The helmet, with many Patriots-themed illustrations, didn't appear to have a clear area for. We'll leave the picture here for fans to decide on the coolness of it. Patriots huge in China: the Chinese have definitely taken a shine to the Patriots. According to CNN, the Patriots have enjoyed a monumental year in the world's most populous nation, becoming the first NFL team to hit 500,000 followers on Weibo, which is the Chinese version of Twitter. Weibo has around 300 million monthly active users. The Patriots were the team that put the biggest onus on creating daily content that would specifically be attractive to Chinese fans, which included graphics in Mandarin, and short video explainers on American football. The Patriots this past season have set themselves apart from the rest of the league in terms of creating original Chinese content. Gideon Clark, client director at Millman, said to CNN. Red Sox, Patriots championships for the 2018 season will both be honored at the Red Sox home opener on Tuesday. RS President Sam Kennedy told media members that the Patriots have accepted their invitation to attend and conduct a joint celebration. The Patriots are celebrating their sixth title since 2001, while the Red Sox are recognizing their fourth since 2004. Patriots draft caps were released by New Era Caps that the players who are drafted by the team will wear on stage when they are selected. In a word, bland. Rodgers and McCarthy excoriated in BR piece. Aaron Rodgers was raked over the coals in the recent piece by Bleacher Report's Tyler Dunn. And former head coach Mike McCarthy wasn't spared the rod either in this compelling yet disturbing story. Calling this an unflattering look at Rodgers is like saying the Titanic encountered ice problems on her maiden voyage. This was a truly toxic relationship, and Dunn says it was over before it began. Rodgers, it was said, never forgave McCarthy for drafting Alex Smith before him in the NFL draft, and it poisoned their relationship before it even began. This story, unlike the one that pictured Brady and Belichick at odds, named names, and had quotes from many former Packers players. Rodgers changed about a third of the plays McCarthy called and frequently told receivers to run different routes than what was called. McCarthy was fired. Packers president Mark Murphy called Rodgers to tell him the team was hiring new coach Matt LaFleur. Speaks a lot of how bad things have gotten in GB. Murphy called Rodgers to tell him who they were going with. He didn't ask for permission, he told him who the choice was. There was a brief pause on the other end of the phone before Rodgers eventually spoke. Murphy made it clear that Rodgers would need to accept coaching. "Don't be the problem," he told him. "Don't be the problem." Leon Gray elected to the Patriots Hof with the meeting of the Patriots Hall of Fame committee this week to select the 3 finalists for this season's fan induction. The 10-member senior selection committee met to elect a player who has been retired for 25 years or longer. This year's selection was former Patriots offensive tackle Leon Gray. Gray was drafted by Miami but cut at the end of training camp. He was quickly scooped up by Chuck Fairbanks of the Pats and quickly became one of the best tackles in the NFL. He and John Hanna comprised an outstanding combination at guard and tackle, and were instrumental in setting the NFL record for team rushing yards in 1978, a record that still stands today. Gray was underpaid in relation to tackles around the league and would be gone by 1979 to Houston. He later played for New Orleans. He was a four-time Pro Bowler with 2 All-Pro seasons. He died in 2001. The selections for the team half will be announced later this week. Why a first-round WR? He's a perfect fit. The Patriots have never selected a WR in the first round of the Bill Belichick era. Yes, I know, and judging from the emails I received after Mock Draft 2.0, a lot of Patriots fans know that too. But if there is one thing about this team we've learned is to never say never. So, with that being said, we opted for a wide receiver from Ole Miss at the end of the first round who is still there, during a draft simulation. No, it wasn't DK Metcalf, the physical freak who has everyone drooling in fantasy football dream scenarios. It was his teammate A.J. Brown, who was actually a ton more productive. Metcalf caught 67 passes for Ole Miss during parts of 3 college seasons. Brown caught 189 for 2,984 yards, 15.5-yard average, with 19 touchdowns. He's been compared to Juju Smith-Schuster by several draft writers. He's got very good size at 6'0", 226, and has good but not great long speed. But before everyone begins to say a deep threat receiver, keep in mind that Brown can do a lot more than that. He can work as a traditional X wide receiver, the C, or out of the slot. His route running and route tree is much better than his ex-teammate. He can be a chain mover and stretch the field horizontally as well as vertically, something the Patriots' offense is more aligned with. He's versatile and can play multiple positions. He can be a very productive receiver in this offense. Now the only question that remains is, would he fall as far as? There's no way you can read everything that zips past your timeline. But when a good friend, @PatriotsBlee, tweets something, I usually stand up and pay attention. And when I miss something, and frequently do, he's always sharing stuff with me. Nick Saban, head coach at Alabama, was on the podium and talking not about coaching but overcoaching, which can sometimes happen to coaches who try to hammer home every detail into players' heads. Sometimes players are kind of depending on that reinforcement all the time in practice. Saban said, in a game, there's no coach out there. I coached like that when I was an assistant. We'd have a scrimmage at the Cleveland Browns, and Belichick would chew my butt out, man. He'd say, let the players play, and I was like, wow. I've never had my butt chewed out before for coaching and teaching. But as Saban continued, he said that learned that Belichick was right and adopted the same style of coaching. I say the same things to our coaches now, because there's a time when you've just got to let the players play. Because in the game, they've got to know what to do, they've got to know how to do it, they can't depend on somebody else to make a call for them. They can't depend on somebody else to recognize things for them. So, we actually do stuff in practice now. When we do team, I make the coaches get off the field, make the calls, let the players play, he added. One of the hallmarks of Belichick coached teams and a trait that they value is having smart football players. Guys who will take the coaching, do the preparation needed, and be able to recognize what they see in front of them in a game and know what they're supposed to do. This is just a small example of how blessed the Patriots fans are in New England. Nick Saban with a quick story about getting chewed out by Bill Belichick for coaching too much. His message to Saban, let the players play. The mantra of ABC, always be coaching, can hinder players' ability to succeed on game day. Movie camera @BoomInsider. Pic.twitter.com/rectate_sheet Danny Schechter Eagle at Coach Shaq April 4, 2019 to Eastbound and Down AFC East Notes. Adam Shine is bullish on Bills and Allen. Sports radio host and NFL analyst Adam Shine is really high on both the Buffalo Bills and their second-year QB Josh Allen and predicts great not good things for the duo in 2019. He appeared on the One Bills live radio show and echoed those thoughts. "I'm obsessed with the Bills. I love the coach, I love the GM, I love the potential of the young quarterback. I think he's going to be great and I'm not just throwing that word around. I think Josh Allen's gonna be an absolute star," Shine said. Here's a stat, 5-6. That was Allen's record as a rookie starter. And given what people initially expected of the 2018 Bills, as well as the underwhelming offensive talent that surrounded Allen, that 5-6 mark speaks volumes, Shine penned in an NFL.com article. A couple more stats that sing: 631 yards and 8 touchdowns on the ground. Allen's rushing ability was a revelation. "Remember the hurdle of Anthony Barr? That's not normal for a quarterback. Special stuff." He added, "Long story short, Allen enjoyed an encouraging rookie season. He silenced many naysayers, and that was just the beginning. Josh Allen is going to be great." That particular radio show had to be music to the ears of the fan base hungry for a contender. While many writers don't share Shine's optimism regarding Allen, he'll have the chance to prove them all wrong in September. Dolphins meet with Duke QB Daniel Jones. The Miami Dolphins' search for a franchise QB, something they've struggled to find since Dan Marino retired, continues. With their trade of Ryan Tannehill, they signed journeyman Ryan Fitzpatrick as a bridge QB, but that signing is strictly a band-aid fix. Jones played in a pro-style offense and has the arm strength, size, and patience in the pocket. He has a quick delivery and processes things quickly and accurately. It will be interesting to see if Miami pulls the trigger on Jones in the draft. The Duke signal caller has also drawn interest from the Broncos, Giants, and Chargers. Miami also announced that Richmond Webb and Kenyon Drake will announce some of their 2019 NFL draft picks, in keeping with a recent tradition of having former and current players announcing selections for the team. All quiet on the Jets front. The New York Jets are keeping a very low profile heading into the draft. And there hasn't been much of them in the news. While they prepare for the most of the talk this week was on the Jets' new uniforms, which are very boring, with the black third jersey looking far too much like the Philadelphia Eagles uniform. Sometimes new isn't better. The Jets' 1980s look to me was their best, just like the Patriots' red uniforms, especially the away unis with red pants and white jerseys. But in other news, Robbie Anderson is excited to be in Adam Gase's offense, although he hasn't officially seen it yet. And Jamal Adams doesn't believe Gronk stays retired. Yan. Is it draft time yet? So, how was your week? Follow me on Twitter at SteveUp7SFG or email me at emailprotected. Listen to our Patriots 4th and 2 podcasts on Blog Talk Radio as Russ Goldman, Derek Havens and myself from PatsFans.com discuss the latest Patriots news and game analysis.